All power to the people and free the land. This is Brother Khalid Rahim from New African Independence Party. I just wanted to spend a few moments to address the issue around the campaign and the struggle and the movement for reparations and Black self-determination. I just made note of a few things that came to mind that I wanted to share with the folks who may be watching the video, or members and supporters of the New African Independence Party, and especially those who are actively engaged in the overall movement to secure reparations for Black folks here within the United States, and those who are also engaged in the movement to secure self-determination for Black folks here within the United States of America. One of the reasons that we name this particular campaign a campaign for both reparations and Black self-determination is because in our estimation, we realize that one without the other is basically useless. And I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time talking about it this afternoon, but I just want to make a few quick points to really think about. The struggle for reparations and the struggle for Black self-determination are deeply connected. One is really irrelevant without the other. And the reason I say this is because if we were to secure some type of reparations, or if we had a complete reparations package, but we did not also correspondingly secure our own freedom or self-determination, then we would be bound and caught up into the same social economic system that has continued to oppress us and exploit us and enslave us. And so we would have some material benefits, but those material benefits would really not be used to really help us develop further as human beings. Those material benefits wouldn't even be controlled by us because they would still be controlled and administered through the existing institutions and systems, because we would basically have no say-so over how those particular benefits, i.e. cash, for example, would be used and spent. Many of us would probably take the money, whatever the amount is that we would be given, and spend it within the current economic system, because that's all we know and that's all we have any say-so over in terms of our personal finances. But as far as the overall system itself, the means of production, without self-determination, we would have no say-so. So we would basically be given resources as compensation for the history and the suffering of slavery and Jim Crow and mass incarceration. And certainly there's some non-financial and economic things that could be done to move us further towards fulfilling the complete package of reparations, namely the release of all the political prisoners and prisoners of war. But when we talk about dealing with resources that help to lay the foundation for people's development, right, we have to have control over that. So we can't really embrace a movement that pushes reparations without also correspondingly advocating and fighting and organizing for Black self-determination. What we say here within the NAIP is that we can foresee the possibility in the future that once the movement for reparations really becomes more and more popular, and mainstream Black politicians especially, and even some so-called progressive white politicians, will basically try to get in front of it and frame it as just a movement to secure some type of material benefits and some type of resources, right, in compensation for the impact and for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. They may even concede and release a certain number of political prisoners or prisoners of war. But if that's all we are willing to accept, then we will have shortchanged ourselves, and we would have shortchanged the future generations to come, because we'll be in the same old trick bag once again. We'll have some material compensation, we'll have some limited access to material resources, but we won't have any power over how those resources are really going to be used to help us redevelop ourselves as a group of people. So once again, I just wanted to put that out there. Look for that possibility at some point where mainstream politicians will take up the banner and support reparations, but they will define reparations in a very limited way, and they will not connect reparations to the call for Black freedom and for self-determination. Remember what I'm saying to you. Please don't forget. This is going to be very crucial for our children and our grandchildren's future. Thank you again for your time and for your patience. All power to the people, and free the land.